start there. I spent New Year's Eve at a celebrity's house. It was not the plan originally, but it's what happened. I was worried, actually, in all honesty, I was worried that it was going to be terrible, that it was going to be full of famous people who were jerks, or not famous people who were just trying to collect fodder for their Instagrams or something. I was convinced I was not going to vibe with anyone, but actually it was really great. The host is someone I admire, and all the people who were there were also people who I found myself really respecting and vibing with, and people who were genuine, who were authentic, who were interesting, interested, creative. Some of whom were people you might recognize, some of whom were not. They were all fantastic. I was pretty low-key that night, but my friend was high-key in a good way. And she asked this actor what his New Year's resolution was, or is. And he said, because it's a basic question, right? And I think no one expected him to answer it really thoughtfully, but he did. He said, yeah, that's a good question. I haven't thought of it much, but I think it's going to be to resist less. Resist less. Go with the flow more. And when I heard that, I was like, that's a pretty good one. It's not quite the verbiage I would choose for myself, but what he said stuck in my head, and I kind of wanted to find a resolution that worked for me that was kind of that. So I don't really do annual New Year's resolutions. I do monthly resolutions. Every month I make a few resolutions or goals for myself. It's interesting. I like New Year, fresh start feeling, and I think that can be really powerful, and I personally really enjoy it. But I also have in me this bone that is like so against constant self-optimization, like endless vertical growth. I think you can enter certain seasonal cycles where you do a lot of one activity and then later you do something different. It doesn't have to be like this and this and this and let's ratchet it all up and this all the time. I think things are seasonal, cyclical, and you should focus on listening to yourself and what you need. And what you need won't always be more in absolute measures forever and ever and ever. So, all this to say, I like to kind of check in with myself on a monthly basis and make little monthly resolutions. That said, does it, and there's a clear start and finish. They're more project-based or task-based. A start, a finish. Whereas in January, they tend to have the trend or pattern of being things that I want to focus on in that month specifically, but that I hope to carry with me going into the rest of the year as well. Like to set the tone for the year. So, based on this actor's resolution given to us in an offhand manner at this party, I was thinking about the tone I wanted to set for myself. I was thinking about resisting less. Maybe this sounds cheesy, but like glowing more, like inwardly, just like more light, slowing down, doing more things that make me feel more human, finding ease and finding light, kind of a thing. So I came up with one. There's a hair stuck to it's a dog hair. Okay. 1. 30 days of yoga and meditation. Carrying this forward into the rest of the year, I don't think it will be a daily thing like every single day. Meditation, I hope so. Yoga, no. But in January, yes, 30 days of yoga and meditation. I take the 1st of January off and then do the 30 days from there. I did meditate very regularly for a period, kind of fell out of it. So this month I'm just doing 5 minutes of meditation every morning. So little, and it makes such a big difference. And then I'm doing 30 days of yoga with Adrian. It's a little bit like an annual tradition I have with myself. I do it pretty much every year. And I felt like this would be a good way to slow down and connect with my body and my breath and just kind of clear out some cobwebs and clear my head. I also made the resolution that I hope to carry with me, but I'm especially focusing on it now, to have low dopamine mornings, which for me, because I'm not really on social media, I don't have TikTok, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Goodreads. Some of you have asked. I'm sorry I don't have Goodreads, but I share everything with you here. So low dopamine mornings for me means no text and no email, no texting, no emailing before 1 p.m. So far I'm really liking that. I have made an exception for like my pinned conversation, so that top row that you can pin. I just have 3 people there, my partner, my mom, and my sister. And so sometimes I text them back if it seems not urgent, but like if it seems helpful to text back in a more timely manner, I will do that. But otherwise, all the rest is after 1 p.m. And then my 3rd New Year's resolution, or January resolution to carry forward with me, is work free weekends. I am self-employed in many ways, and so I had picked up this habit of working on weekends, getting ahead by doing little things over the weekend. It has not gotten out of control, to be honest. I think 2 days a week where I don't do anything that I make money from. That sounds nice, right? So I really want to prioritize that. So I said work-free weekends. So that's like the resolution chunk of this. The second chunk of this we're gonna call delays. Delays. Like I said, I really like a new year, fresh start kind of feel. I really do. Well, this year, in December, I got some bad news. And in December, my partner got some bad news. Everyone has their good health, so we're okay. It was two tough things at once to deal with while still trying to be present and to enjoy the holidays. They were, I guess I could say, both like severe disappointments. So everyone's okay, but quite frankly, it sucked. It sucked. Things that had seemed finalized were not. Twice over. So that's December, and then I was like, oh, January is gonna feel so new, so fresh though. And then my friends came into town, and they have a lot on their plates right now. And so they stayed with us, but it was kind of like last minute when they were gonna stay with us and for how long. Totally fine, because they're very good friends. So I will like move mountains for them, and find within myself a flexibility I do not extend to everyone, but only to people I really love. And so it was no problem at all. But it was like a play by ear kind of thing. And they stayed into the new year a little bit. So we were hosting friends whom we love, not a problem. But they stayed to like the second or the third, not a problem. But I was like, okay, that's fine. And then like, when is the like new year fresh start gonna happen, you know? It's gonna happen when they leave. Cool. I can wait a few days. So then our friends left. And that same day, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like sit in my fresh start feeling, you know? That same day, we found out that both myself and my partner had COVID. We were sick. And that goes on for a while, you know? So all of a sudden it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks of like being quite sick. I was less sick than my partner, so I was walking the dog, feeding the dog, walking the dog, getting food for my partner and for myself, like ordering it, but also when I was no longer symptomatic and no longer testing positive, going out to get it, like just checking on my partner all the time, like, do you need anything? Can I get anything for you? Because my partner is so caring and loving to me. I would do it anyway, right? But like, especially because my partner is so caring and loving to me, I wanted to show up like 300%, and I did, and it was worth it. body a bit, but it didn't feel nearly as satisfying as it would have had I been healthy. I couldn't film, I couldn't work like my day job really. I had brain fog. I couldn't really read. Like about all I could do was nap and watch trash TV. I wasn't journaling, which is a really important practice for me. It doesn't replace therapy, but it's akin to therapy for me. Couldn't do it. We had to cancel a bunch of social plans because I had just gotten back into town, done New Year's, then we were going to catch up with a bunch of people. Nope. Canceled a bunch of appointments, like a very urgent EMV appointment. No. And also, like the dentist. Nope. So it was a mad series of delays, which should have been and usually would have been very frustrating. But one good thing about it is that it forced me to take everything extra easy, extra slow. It forced me to slow down, which was my very plan for myself. But had I been left to my own devices, would I have done it? Yes, I would have. But in a more contrived way, maybe. This, like, very organically and necessarily and in an emergent sort of way, forced me to rest. Or another way to put this is that you guys know I like horoscopes, right? And astrology. Well, lately I've kind of been like, I don't know, because when I got that bad news, and my partner got that bad news, it was directly at odds with when we were supposed to get great news. And I don't think horoscopes, like, predict the future, but it was somehow extra disappointing to be poorly surprised when you had expected to be really delighted. So I was taking a breather on horoscopes for a second, to be honest. That said, my horoscope this month gave me a little nugget that I intend to carry forward with me because I find it super helpful. It said with all these retrogrades going on that there would be delays, but that delays can be a good thing. Delays are opportunities to rest, to reconsider. Delays can help you arrive when you are supposed to, not too early. It's a hindrance, but that hindrance can be not only a positive kind of force, but a protective one. It can protect you from things you may not be ready for, prepared for, rested for. And so delays, my takeaway is delays can be productive events, and to, like, accept them in that sense has been really helpful to me this month. To accept delays, I mean accept to, not like in a passive way, but like to absorb in the same way that that actor said, like, I'm gonna try to resist less. Yeah. So, thus concludes our kind of like delays chunk of the ramble. Now talking about values. Below I'm gonna link a video that I did about like goal setting that I'm about to talk about, and also a values video with just a bunch of ideas for values if you think it sounds exciting to have values as a sort of compass, decision-making compass going forward. But you don't know where to start, then I'll link this values video down below as well. So, some of you already know that every 6 months I do this goal setting thing where you determine your vision, who you want to become on purpose and who you're going to be 6 months from now. I feel a hair on my forehead, but I can't find it. So you determine your vision, and then based on that vision, you break it out into 3 to 5 goals, actionable goals. And then you pick 3 to 5 values that will be sort of your decision-making compass to help you achieve those goals, which are designed to help you achieve that vision. It's in the video I'm gonna link if you're interested in hearing more. Anyway, I think I'll keep my vision private, but I'll tell you my goals and my values that work towards that vision, which are going to sound cheesy. This exercise is so helpful to me, but it invariably, inevitably, necessarily always sounds cheesy if I ever say it out loud to someone outside of myself. Like you. But I know you're gonna get it. So, vision, and then the goals I broke it out into are to, it's gonna sound cheesy, okay? Are to work in my zone of genius, which basically just means with a clear mind in the morning, doing my best work, giving my best energy to my work at a certain time. So to work in my zone of genius, to cultivate strength in my body and mind. So a mix of running and yoga, a mix of meditation and journaling, and to make more time for people who add light to my life. Yeah, this is a whole nother video, but in the past year or so, I've had to take a hard look at a few friendships. I still am keeping them, but we won't get into it now. I guess I wanted to distinguish for myself the difference between positivity and light. I have some friends who are going through hard things, who just aren't really in a place where they can be super positive when we talk and when they vent and things, but they still add light to my life. They don't have to be positive to add light, to have a certain warmth and light in them that we give to one another, share, and make more of, Conversely, I have some friends who have everything going right for them, who have every reason to be positive, but they just weigh heavy, and they do not add light to my life, and those interactions weigh really heavy on me, and I don't want to totally stop those interactions from happening, but I also don't want to make a concerted effort to make time or space for them. So the third goal is to make more time specifically for people who add light to my life and to the world in general, which is not necessarily positivity. It's just light. And then the values that I chose that seem fun to me and that are in keeping with the direction I've set with my goals and with my for me. Patience, patience, patience. So, those are my values for like this next season going forward. I also wanted to add a little anecdote to the end of this chunk, this values chunk. This is not a value I chose. I don't know if it's one you can choose. I guess you can. It's a big one. It's not one that I chose for this 6-month period, but I wanted to mention it because it seems ever more important to me. In consumer education / life skills class, it was this strange class that we had in my high school. Like, they would teach you how to balance a checkbook, but then also we had a unit on core values. I don't know if that's common or not, but we had a day where we had an auction of different values that the teacher had set up, like different values on the board, and you had a certain amount of money that you could use to bid on certain values, like creativity and intelligence and health and whatever. And I remember me and this kid, Anthony, both really wanted the value resilience. I remember the teacher saying resilience, like that bounce back ability. That we like entered a bidding war. No one else in the class was interested in resilience, but we entered this bidding war, and I forget who got it honestly, but I remember looking at him and being like, not like you have good taste, but just like, I get you, you get me, like this is, if you could only have one value, like this is the thing that will get you through some hard times, you know, like this is the one that's worth the most. And only he and I were interested in it, and so I felt a certain kinship with him. But I just thought about it the other day because I have seen so many people around me lately being so resilient. I don't know, sometimes just a lot gets thrown your way at once, but I think resilience can go a really, really long way, and I've just been thinking a lot about it lately. Related but not related, gratitude can go a really long way. Every morning I wake up, and sadly it's in this order. I think first of my little dog curled up in her bed, sleeping in the morning, waking up. I think of my very loving, supportive partner next to me. And I think of randomly all the plants that I have propagated and collected and taken care of in my home, and how happy they make me. And then the whole day like opens up before me, and I think of all the things that I love to do, that I get to do that day, like taking walks outside even if it's in the rain, or like making a sandwich for lunch and putting bread and butter pickles on it, or taking a shower. I love a good shower, and starting my day that way before I even get out of bed has been very helpful to me always, but especially lately. And so I wish for you too so much resilience, so much gratitude. I wish for you all the strength you need to sit in whatever discomfort comes for you with the changes ahead that you want to make for yourself. It's very, very brave to change. It's even brave to just the fact of wanting to change is brave. see you very soon.